so glad you're here. I'm Kim Jordano from Kinder by Kim. I'm not used to the microphone, sorry. And so I'm going to be talking to you about some STEAM activities, science, technology, engineering, and math. And I'm going to be focusing today on STEM with pirates. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit about me in case you don't know anything about me. I am everywhere you can find me as Kinder by Kim. So if you want to find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all you need to know is Kinder by Kim. I'm a mommy. I have a beautiful little girl, Gianna, and she is the love of my life. And I am a full-time kindergarten teacher. I love kindergarten. I've never taught anything but kindergarten. And if I ever perfect it, maybe I'll stop. But it keeps changing and you have to keep changing with it. And so I think maybe people ask me, are you going to get bored with kindergarten? I'm like, no, how can you get bored with kindergarten? Constantly changing. And so you're always reinventing. And with all these new STEM activities, it's really given me rejuvenation. I've never been a huge sciencey person because I wasn't good at that. And now with the NGSS standards, I'm just thrilled to bring it to my kindergarten classroom. So I'm going to share you one part today of what I did with my kindergartners this year. So we started with, we love pirates. We talked a lot about the sun, and in another session I'm going to tell you some other things you can do to learn about the sun. But today my focus is on what you can do to protect yourself from the sun. So I had a question for my children. The question was, there's a pirate treasure cannot be in the sun or it will change colors. So we'd done all kinds of pirate stories, and I said, I have this really cool treasure, but we have got to solve how we can keep these special treasure. If they touch the sun at all, they're going to change colors, and the pirates don't want them. They're not worth any money if you let the beads change. So here's our challenge. Build a structure to protect and shade the pirate's treasure. Well, how are we going to do that? So what I did is I sent out a letter. We told my parents, my kindergartners are going to be engineers. We are engineering, we're going to be designing, we're making blueprints, and these are the things I need. And I actually thought of this not weeks in advance. You know how things come to you and you're like, I'm going to do that tomorrow. So I had a couple of days to pull it together. I made a new little letter. I asked for all kinds of things to come in. I asked for toilet paper rolls, paper, we got yogurt cups, I got Christmas plates, I got every kind of cereal box you can imagine, and we gathered it for a good 2 days. And your classroom will be a disaster, but you just keep letting them bring it in. The one thing you really need is tape, lots and lots of tape. I have 24 kids in my class. I don't have any special volunteers. It's just me and them. And glue, as you know with kindergarten, I had glue, but gluing big projects together is tricky. Tape was great, but we had tape everywhere. So they brought in all their items. And then for me, the two things I had to get is I went on Amazon and I got the sun changing beads. You just Google it on Amazon and go right there. You can get a huge bag for like $6. We shared it with 5 kindergarten classrooms, so it was awesome. And then I borrowed first grades this year, but I have already ordered from Lakeshore a set of thermometers. And these are pretty good because they are glass, they're real thermometers, but they're on like a plastic card, and you get a whole bunch of them, so they work great. Those are on my order for Amazon right now. So then I talked to my kids. I said, you know, when you're an engineer, you don't just start making something, you have to have a plan. You've got to think this through, and you've got to think about how are we going to shade those pirates and keep their treasure from changing colors. So I made a little paper for them, and I said, you are the engineers. I'm not telling you anything. How would you keep your pirate shaded? So let's draw, because we have to have a plan. That's what all engineers do. So these are some of my kids making different plans. They had all different designs. They loved it. Just changing it to being a pirate was all the buy-in I needed. They were so excited about the pirates. Someone made a mailbox design. They thought, I'm going to shove the pirate in the mailbox. He'll stay shaded. I'm like, that sounds good to me. So I just let them, this was an apartment building or a hotel. So they all had a reason for why they were making this design. I did have to remind them, well, make sure that where's your pirate going to go? So we made our designs. Then my challenge was, you know how everyone likes to pick their best friend to partner with? Sometimes those best friends are not the best partners. And I didn't want to just randomly pick kids to work together. So I took their blueprints and I found like blueprints. So this person did some kind of tree and it worked beautifully. There was no argument about, I want to be with this person. I'm like, but look, you both designed apartment buildings or hotels. And so I put them together. It was amazing. So that took another day. One day we gathered our supplies, we made our blueprints. The next day I partnered them together, and that was really fun. And then you had to make your pirate. So I designed a little pirate piece for them. I love anything with the toilet paper roll is awesome, and they stand up, which is great. The other thing is they had to think toilet paper rolls are not teeny tiny. So they had to be looking at their pirate. And then I actually hot glued their sun beads on because you know how they pop off so easily. So before we did our experiment, I had the beads all ready for them. All right, then I took all the supplies. You also need a sunny day. So just like Murphy's Law, the day I planned to do it in sunny Southern California was gloomy. So it wasn't going to work. But we gathered our supplies when we got a good sunny day. And I'm not kidding you, they spent probably a half an hour collecting all the stuff that they could carry, which was really, really fun. And it was everything. I mean, they had spoons, they had straws, they had anything they wanted, and there was no limit. I said, get what you need. If you find you need more, go get it. I didn't cut a single item for anybody. They had scissors. That's what they could use. Scissors and tape. So, teamwork. Teamwork is interesting because you walk up to some of the kids and they're working totally next to each other, but not planning this blueprint together. You know, most of them, I can tell you the truth, over an hour and a half, I didn't hear a peep from anybody. And I'm like, this is why you do these kinds of projects with kindergartners. They're independent, they're thinking, they have to solve their problem. The funniest thing to me was lots of them forgot to put a place for their pirate to go inside. So they made these huge things, and then when we came to the time of like, okay, well, where's your pirate going to, oh, they had to go back and readjust. But you know what, that's what I've said, that's great thinking. Engineers have to think that way. They have to try it out and see if it's going to work. So these are some of the ones. These are the kids working together. My room was not silent, but it was this beautiful hum of talking back and forth. And then if they got stuck, I said, maybe you want to walk around and see what some other engineers are doing. You might like one of their designs. Everyone was just awesome at it. So here they are working together. And then this is one, the Treehouse. This is one of the better ones I had to show you. I mean, look at the blueprint. Look what she came together with her friend. It's beautiful. I did run off little pirate flags so they could have a Jolly Roger to put anywhere they wanted to. Most of them did not add a lot of extra construction paper things because it took them so long to piece their items together. And so we had to show them all off. So those are just some different ones. And then this was a submarine. This one was pretty awesome. He had a telescope on there. I think it fell off when he walked outside. They had some engineering troubles that we had to fix. But and then we took them outside on a beautiful sunny day, and it was hot out there. The funny thing is there's glue dripping down the sides. There's tape. Maybe it's so kindergarten. But when you're walking out there, of course, no administrator came to look. It's the day you think, please come see this awesome thing going on in my room right now. They set them up, and so what they had to decide is one pirate will go in the shade, one pirate will be in the sun. So they had to decide. The minute you walk outside, the beads change color really quickly. So that's really exciting. And so they had some of them, that one was in a door. Here's the little beads changing, and they're like, ooh, it was magic to them. It's really, really, really fun. And then let's see. Then we got the thermometers out. So I got everybody, I have 24 kids, all in partners. They got their items set up. Some fell apart on the way out. They had to go back and readjust. Then they put one pirate in, one pirate out. And it was awesome. This is the inside was 80, and outside was like 110. So their shade, everybody's shade worked as long as it was in the shade. Some of them were just under cups. Some of them discovered that the darling little door they made, they're like figuring out how to lay the pirate down and shove it. But it worked really, really well. They were so excited. So then I thought, well, let's go back and think about this. What did we learn? Did my things work? Did we need to make any adjustments? And some kids brought their projects back inside. This is like a 2.5 hour thing. I did it towards the end of the school year. It was beautiful. And so their finished shade structure looked like, and then I had a little checklist. Did it work? Did Pirate Peat actually fit in the shade? That was a big problem that I did not expect to have, but they didn't think how big the door needed to be or the area to go. And then, was Pirate Peat's treasure protected from the sun? And ultimately, everybody's treasure was protected from the sun. But then, of course, they all wanted to pull theirs out in the sun so that their beads could change. So that's the fun part of it. So came back in the next couple days. We talked about, what did you learn? What did you learn from this experience? They learned so many things: teaming, partnering, designing, what a blueprint is, being in the shade. Why do we need to be in the shade? And so it was just a great experience for my kindergartners. We had a lot of fun. I would think any child would enjoy doing this project because it's so free. They were free to do what they wanted to do. Very hard for me to keep my mouth shut. I am one of those people that likes to meddle and give them ideas, but the whole thing with STEM is to let them do it, and it worked out really great. So the rest of this week, I'm going to be sharing some other weather activities for STEAM, and I've got some other really cool science activities. So thank you for joining me today, and enjoy your time at ITHK.